Hi, this is Dennis, and you're on the channel about Albania. Today, we have a short video about real estate prices that are current as of today. That is spring of 2025 at the time of recording this video. We'll show you a few apartments so you can get an idea of what prices are like in Albania. So let's take a look. This is a large apartment with a spacious bathroom, a shower, and all the necessary equipment. The bathroom is right at the entrance. See, right? So basically, you can just move in and start living. Everything you need is here. All you need are your toothbrushes and a good mood. This apartment is what they call a 2+1. That is a large kitchen and a living room. Here it is. See? Yes. It is being sold with all this kitchen furniture, with all the furnishings. Yes, this is such a wonderful sofa. The finishing is of good quality. And this apartment has 2 bedrooms, 2 separate bedrooms. The size of this apartment is 75 square meters. This apartment is located in a very good year-round area. Near the house, there are schools, shops, pharmacies, small farmers markets, and clinics. In other words, everything you need is here. You don't even need to go anywhere to get anything. You can live here without a car. Your own 2 feet are enough. The distance to the sea is short, just a 5-minute walk to the warm Adriatic coast. The price of an identical apartment today is 110,000 euros. Yes, 110,000 euros is the price for such an apartment. If you choose to rent such an apartment for a long term, and you do so with an official, legally binding notarial contract that is specifically intended for a long-term lease, it will typically cost you anywhere from 500 to 800 euros per month. If you rent such an apartment in the summer for a short term, for example, if you decide to come for a week to swim in the sea and relax, well, in the summer, such an apartment will cost you from 60 to 80 euros per day. And now let's look at another apartment. And this is the next apartment. So let's take a look. Here there is a bathroom with a shower and everything you need. This is also an apartment with 2 bedrooms. That is a large kitchen, a living room combined with the kitchen. You can take a look. This is how it all looks. See? Yes. This apartment has 2 bedrooms. So it is designed for permanent living for a full family. There is a lot of space here. Albanian apartments can sometimes be very, very large. This apartment is located in an area with year-round infrastructure. That is, there are also kindergartens, schools, shops, car services, and beauty salons. Everything you need is here as well. So it's a neighborhood suitable for year-round living. Now, the price of such an apartment with everything you see in a good area is also just a 5-minute walk to the sea. Well, the sea is close by here. Durrës is the city with the longest coastline. So the price of a similar apartment today is 125,000 euros. The size of this apartment is 100 square meters. Now let's take a look at some smaller apartments. This is an example of a 1-bedroom apartment that is a 1+1, a large kitchen, a living room, and a separate bedroom. This apartment is a bit smaller than what we saw before. This apartment is 60 square meters in size. It is also being sold with all the furniture, all the appliances, everything you see. This is also a very good neighborhood. The apartment is located very close to the sea. It's about a 1-minute walk to the sea, the beach, and all the hotels. The sea is really, really close. This is a tourist area, or as it's also called, the second line from the sea. You see, right? Here too, there is all the necessary infrastructure, schools, kindergartens, shops, and all sorts of services to make your life comfortable. Why is this important? Because in Albania there are many neighborhoods and towns that only come alive in the summer when there are tourists. But this area is lively all year round. That is, it's comfortable to live here even without a car. You can take walks along the sea all the time and enjoy life. As of today, an apartment like this costs from 100,000 euros and up. Specifically in this area, well, that's simply because the location itself is expensive. It's not even about the beautiful renovation or the appliances, but about the location itself. And here is an example of how you can buy an apartment much cheaper. For example, you can buy an apartment in a good location, but let's say not in very good condition, like this apartment, for instance. You see, right? Yes, of course. Here the plumbing is old, the furniture is old, the apartment needs attention and renovation. There you go. But at the same time, the price tag, the price of this apartment is 75,000 euros. You see, right? And with a big difference in price between beautiful new apartments and this one, you can turn this apartment into a very, very comfortable and beautiful home. Moreover, to fix up this apartment, you don't need much, just 5,000 or 6,000 euros to renovate it and furnish it with decent appliances. Yes, this is just a typical Albanian apartment. At the same time, this apartment is also located near the sea. Today we're filming properties like this one near the sea. It's a 4-minute walk to the sea from here. And the area is lively year-round. There are kindergartens, farmers markets, bus stops, mobile service shops, and beauty salons. Basically, everything you need for a comfortable permanent life is right here next to your home. That's wonderful. By the way, the size of this apartment is about 50 square meters for 75,000. Moreover, everything is available, heavy furniture makers, people who do renovations, electricians. All of that is here as well, and it doesn't cost a lot of money. And this apartment is even smaller in size. We call it a studio. That is a large kitchen, living room, a bathroom, and a balcony. So let's take a look at what it looks like. It is this kind of apartment. The size here is 54 square meters. This studio is considered large. Usually studios are a bit smaller. You see, right? The price of this apartment is 69,000 euros. Usually studios cost from 55,000 euros to 65,000. This one is simply larger in size, and here too you have all the infrastructure, salons, shops, and bus stops. But here it's a bit farther from the sea. It takes 5 minutes to walk to the sea from here. Of course, Albanians are simple people, and their approach to life is simple, so the renovations and condition of Albanian apartments are, well, quite basic, without any complications or frills. A reservation has been made for this apartment, so it is no longer for sale now. But for a general understanding of prices, it suits our purposes. And this is an example of a more basic apartment. This is a small studio, only 30 square meters in size. It is located, let's say, in an area where there isn't much infrastructure. Yes, of course, there are some shops, some pizzerias, but to get to any major clinics or hospitals, you need to go either by bike, by car, or by bus. You see, right? This is the condition it's in. Yes, there are apartments like this too. although it's just about a 2-minute walk to the sea from here. With this kind of view, as of today, an apartment like this, just as you see in the video, costs from 50,000 euros and up. These prices are current as of today, at the time this video is being recorded. We rented apartments in good, nice areas. Of course, there are more expensive apartments and there are cheaper ones as well. Of course, this depends more on the location. But we think that for a general understanding, these figures are quite sufficient. Property prices in Albania are still gradually rising. Yes, probably just like everywhere else on our planet. That's all for today. Subscribe to the channel so you don't lose track of it. Give us a like. It's easy for you and it's nice for us. And write to me if you want to come settle here, buy something big or small, or even just learn something about Albania. Good luck.